Is LongLegs this generation's Silence of the Lambs? How's it going? This is Gavin Goes to the Movies. I'm Gavin, let's talk movies. LongLegs is a movie about an FBI agent, Lee Harker, who's hunting down a serial killer calling himself LongLegs. And he's been killing people for years. But somehow the FBI cannot find this guy. I'm gonna leave it at that because the plot details are pretty important. And I don't wanna give anything away. LongLegs has been heavily marketed with eerie trailers, early screenings so that people can talk about their experience, and also billboards with a number to call. Do you wanna call the number?
There she is. What's your name, little angel? Nice to meet you. Oh. I'll be waiting.
It just feels like the hype for this movie was going up and up every single week because of the great marketing that they were doing. As far as the movie itself goes, the director Osgood Perkins gives us a movie that takes so much inspiration from classic horror movies. Think of it as if Silence of the Lambs met Seven and Rosemary's Baby, and they all got together and they had a baby. Perkins does a great job at creating tension even if nothing's happening. A lot of the time he uses a wide camera lens to show you what's going on around the character, but at the same time that kind of makes you feel even more uneasy because you feel like something should be there. And then going in the complete opposite direction, he uses a technique that I called the Resident Evil trick. So what it is the camera is facing the character and they're right in the center of the frame. And wherever they're going, the camera is moving with them, so you can't see what they see. All you can go off of is what their facial expression says. It's that fear of the unknown effect. So the movie starts off with brighter, cooler colors, nothing creepy yet, a little bit creepy, but nothing out of the ordinary. But then naturally some things happen, and after those things happen, you realize that they trained the audience to know that no matter how dark or how bright the color is, or what's going on in the scene, you're never safe. It seems like every technique that he used in this movie complemented each other. Everything just meshed really well, you were uncomfortable, even if LongLegs wasn't on screen, you had this sense of dread upon you even if nothing was happening. Now the story of LongLegs is one with lots of layers.
Onions have layers. Ogres have layers.
The movie starts off as a serial killer story, then it slowly moves into being a detective-focused story, and then they sprinkle on a little supernatural stuff on top of all that. When the pacing of a movie changes, or a twist happens, or even if they change the themes of the movie halfway through, that can really take the audience out of it and really kind of ruin the experience. But LongLegs was able to do that in a strategic way that works. Okay, so the directing was great, the pacing was great, and the story was great. Now I know what you're all thinking. The movie was gory, right? Yes. Well, kind of. Now the movie starts relatively tame with the gore and the violence. And just like every other aspect of this movie, it's very strategic with how it does it. You get comfortable with not seeing a lot of the kills or seeing some of the violence that when it finally does happen, once again at the right time, you were not ready for that curveball. So what I'm saying is that the gore and the violence was handled perfectly and never for shock value. It just matched with the pacing of the movie. Lastly, let's talk about Maika Monroe as Lee Harker and Nicolas Cage as LongLegs. If you're a horror fan over the last decade, you've probably seen one of Maika Monroe's movies. She's easily one of the best working actresses in the genre today. Now comparing her character in LongLegs to any of her past work, it's very different. Lee Harker is a very damaged FBI agent, but we don't know why. She has tons of different nervous tics, mannerisms that are going on, but we don't know exactly what happened to her. Clearly something happened to make her this way. So to have a character written like that really allowed Maika to experiment with what that would actually look like. She did great, she always does great in these type of movies. What else can I say? Now if you haven't seen her other movies like It Follows or Villains, do yourself a favor and go check those out. Moving on to LongLegs himself, Nicolas Cage. Now I don't want to give too much away because one of the things that makes the movie work is the mystery of LongLegs himself. Even down to his appearance. And what an appearance he has. Now what I will say about Nicolas Cage as LongLegs is that he was able to get as wild as he wanted. You can tell that he had a lot of fun with this, but you can tell that he also took it seriously and gave everything he had in every scene. Every scene that he's in is unsettling. The way that he talks, the way that he moves when he talks is really uncomfortable. In other words, he's a wild card. You never know what he's gonna do. So here's the $1,000,000 question. Would I say that LongLegs is this generation's Silence of the Lambs? After thinking about it, I wouldn't. It's its own beast, and I don't know if it's gonna be as impactful later on as Rosemary's Baby or Silence of the Lambs. All that I know is that this is something special. LongLegs is able to not borrow, but take inspiration from some of the best parts of classic horror movies. And to take all of those elements and craft a horror movie that's gonna stick with you long after it's over is really something special. LongLegs is the horror movie of the summer, and I'm willing to bet it's gonna be a lot of people's favorite horror movie of the entire year. Thanks for watching my review of LongLegs. If you like horror movies or you just like movies in general, smash that subscribe button for movie news, reviews, rankings, recaps, and more. Until the next video, everybody, see you later.